When I say nobody gets treated worse as a candidate, like an internal candidate, meaning you already work for the company, like the logic behind it is you already work for the company, so we're not in a rush to get back to you. So sit back, take a chill pill, and wait while we interview all the external candidates that we plan on paying 30% more than what we're going to give you, because we're only going to give you probably somewhere up to a 10% increase. And even that's generous for the role. And yeah, just take a chill pill.
Yeah, no. She's spitting facts on that one. Let me see, because she got where is it? Let's go to
Say
this one.
hiring manager stand to gain by lowballing an internal employee. I'll spill the tea. So every hiring manager is assigned a budget. That budget, it oversees salaries, bonuses, travel stipends, what the ability to reimburse you for certifications or anything like that. So anytime that the hiring manager is mismanaging the budget at the end of, budget review, when it comes time to do their one-on-ones and performance reviews with their hiring leader is going to say, you're over budget. That is directly linked to performance, and performance is directly linked to bonus payouts. So they want to stay within budget or under budget, because that money just gets recycled to the next budget season, or gets reallocated somewhere else, probably back to the CEO to buy another yacht. Okay.
That's funny. No, I agree, man. I'm trying to find what is the one that she real deal had that we didn't do. We did that one. Oh, this one. This is a good one because it was about you why you probably not promoting or doing certain things in your org, and this is one that people probably don't think about a lot. So here we go.
You do not need a bad performance review or a written or verbal write up to get blocked from a transfer or a promotion, okay? Because hiring managers talk. I work for a company where it was my responsibility to put both hiring managers, the receiving and the losing hiring manager, on an email and ask, is there anything that we should know before I call the internal candidate to extend the offer? The losing hiring manager said, no, great employee, no write-ups, no issues in the past 5 years she's been with me. However, she doesn't take initiative and she's on her phone a lot. Now, as someone who has been
I gotta stop right there because based on what generation you are from when you come to being a manager is how you're gonna judge someone being on their phone. I feel like if your work is done and I don't have anything that you have to do, I'm not caring if you're on your phone because you did what you're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure you have some downtime or you could be doing something else, but maybe you have kids, maybe you have some other stuff that you're doing while you're on the phone. Now, I wouldn't just say have it all the way out, but there's one of them hard things where, like, if you need to be on there for a extended period of time, go to like one of the little breakout rooms, or like some companies on their campuses, they have like these little small rooms where you got to go take like video calls. Like, go in there and do something like that if you need to be on it like an extended amount of time. But I don't, if you go through and scroll whatever, hey, it's fine. Like, hey, you're not bothering anybody. But sometimes it's a pet peeve to them. Like, if you worked in like a retail setting or something where you got to interact with clients and customers, and now they just see you just looking at their phone, somebody need help, that's different. But for the most part, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
fired early in my career for being on their phone as a front desk associate, and this person was a front desk associate. This is something that should have come up or should have been a write-up or some type of verbal warning on her record.
Facts. That is facts. You can't say you don't like I do something, but you never tell me what you don't like I did. You just use it against me. So now you screwed me out of something. And once she gets done, I'm gonna tell you about the people who are new here, who aren't familiar with some of my content, about like what I experienced like 12 plus years ago.
But it wasn't. So that led me to believe that it wasn't serious enough. But it's just real funny how when she's ready to leave, that's when you know how people truly feel about you. And yes, the candidate, the internal was, and the hiring manager was. So yeah.
Hey, listen, she's just talking about stuff I've been talking about. But like, for example, so when I worked help desk, I had a whole situation. I was tired of doing help desk. I had a degree. I had mastered my job within 6 months. I was trying to go to another department. I was tired of talking to people and I wanted more money. At the time, I was making 40K. I had an opportunity to at least get my base go from 40 to 48,000 and do less work. And so I was trying to go to, I think at the time it was the messaging team. Trying to go to the messaging team. One of my friends who used to work on the help desk was one of the hiring managers over there now, and he put in a good word for me. So I pretty much knew like he's going to get hired, because to do our jobs, you need a clearance. It wasn't like you could just apply and if that's going to give you a clearance or not. They weren't really sponsoring clearances like that at the time. So it's like the day of my interview or right before, and then all of a sudden I find out it got canceled. Why did it got canceled? See, the recruiter was skinfolk. She didn't give me no BS answer. She was like, hey, just want to let you know, your manager and them canceled your interview. Now she told me that they said at the time OPM had a breach or something, so they weren't doing any new clearances at the time, so they didn't want to let anybody move or go. This man didn't even have the decency to tell me that. I went in there like, if anybody seen Lean on Me, when old dude got reprimanded for picking up the trash doing I think it was the school anthem or something like that. I can't remember exactly what was happening, but I know Mr. Darnell bent down to pick the trash up and Crazy Joe got all over him for no reason. And he went over there and turned that man's desk over. I felt like that, but I knew I had bills to pay. But I went there and said, hey, did y'all cancel my interview? I think I asked a couple of the managers that. Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, how you don't know what I'm talking about when y'all have to sign off in order for me to go to a different place anyway? And that was when I got my wake-up call that, hey, if you are a high performer on these teams, they don't want you to go because you mean your SLAs and everything else makes them look better. And not only that, we weren't getting bonuses. I found out that other departments in the company was getting bonuses, and that when they didn't divvy out the bonuses for our team, the managers was getting to keep some of that bread. And so I was like, oh, okay, watch I be gone. And I was gone. And ironically, one of my homies, he moved out to Texas like a year after me. He was like, man, I'm so happy you left because you put the battery in my back and other people's back for us to leave, because we had to just realize like we weren't going to do nothing but be in help desk forever. And it'll just be some BS that they decide to say, oh, he do that, or no initiative, or he do da-da-da. I'm like, man, whatever, save it. You know what the deal was. And the crazy part is I might have considered staying there had they say, well, hey, OPM got this going on. You're a really good agent for us. Could we give you a raise just to have you stay here X amount of time longer? They didn't do that. Oh, look. So I want to shout out one of my past clients right here, man, Michael Brown. So earlier, guys, if you are just getting into the stream, we reacted to a Karen saying they had worked in over 2.5 years complaining, but she wasn't really to do what she had to do to take care of herself. Now, since he put it out here, this is not putting his personal business out. This is one of my former clients. I think he either ended a contract, either a contract got ended or something, but he couldn't find a job for a while. So he has a family. What did he do? He got a job at Walmart and was working. And salute any man that do what they got to do to take care of their family. So that's why a lot of times we not try to hear, oh, it's 2.5 years, I don't have no job. You got to do something. If it's been 2.5 years and you got this much experience, start consulting. She wasn't trying to do nothing. So I don't want to hear that from, especially her, especially them. No, I don't want to hear that. You should have had friends. I've worked with so many people that shouldn't have had a job. It's ridiculous. But yeah, man, shout out to you for doing what you have to do to take care of your family.